So Paul sends me a message the other day. Hey, I want you to watch this Netflix show. Well, try and watch the first 3 episodes. We're going to review the first 3 episodes.
No, that's not what happened. I said, are you going to watch it?
Well, I did. And then today you sent, have you watched the first 3 episodes? And I answered, I watched all of them. I binged it. So apparently I like the show.
I went on Netflix, and sometimes they play a trailer there when you just log in. And it was this, and Michelle Yeoh. Oh, let's see what this is about. Let's watch the trailer, which I never do. And it looked interesting.
Now, what is the name of this show?
The Brother's Son.
The Brother's Son, because there's 2 brothers. One is an infamous gangster, well-known legend, like the enforcer of their crime family,
yeah,
the Yakuza.
Part of the triad kind of thing in China.
And the other son was taken away and is just some guy who's trying to be an improv comedian while going to school to be a doctor.
Yeah, so one guy stayed back in China. The mom took the other son to live a nice cushy life in America, and he grew up as an American. He's soft like us. Okay?
Yes.
So he doesn't know all that crime stuff that hardened his brother.
Yeah, yeah. So you see, you have those completely different personalities. And it turns out that some people are after the family, and then that at least they think it's one crime family going after another crime family. So it's a big story, but now the older son goes back to the United States to protect the mother and the other brother. And hijinks ensue.
Yeah, so the mother is the matriarch of this crime family, and what I find is that if you take Breaking Bad and mix it with some kind of lighthearted TV show like Blackish or Fresh Off the Boat or something like that,
okay,
you mix those 2 together, that's this show.
Yeah, it had its comedic moments, it had its heartfelt moments, it has its action. Lots of action. In fact, I was totally surprised at one of the first things that happens to the family, that I won't spoil it for you if you go watch it. I was completely caught off guard there. I expected, oh, hey, this is suspicious and we're going to track this down and blah, blah, blah. And then something happens that sets it off on an entirely different course. And I thought, bravo. Now, the legend son, the killer, the guy who is legendary for killing 7 people with a pool cue, that kind of guy, much like John Wick killed 3 people with a pencil, those kind of legends. Well, he likes to cook. He's a foodie, and all he really wants to do is open a bakery.
In other words, this is actually the story of how a man from China comes over to America and has an overwhelming desire to eat churros.
Yeah. He discovers, like, he's about to have this big meeting with the crime family and everything where they're going to decide who's going to be the new boss of everybody. And they're, where's my son? Where's my son? He's in the kitchen trying the food like this. And the minutes, and you can always see in this scene when, like, he goes from being, okay, what's going on, to all of a sudden, okay, now I'm going to cause some destruction. And he has that confidence look in his face. And the fight scenes, they were good.
I liked them for a TV show.
Yeah. They were excellently done. There was different types of fights in different locations and different areas. Not everyone, oh, this is going to be the new heroine that's joining the thing, and then something happens and she ends up getting killed. And you thought, oh, she's going to be a main character. She's not. So I enjoyed some of the plot twists that they did in a show.
There's also a lot of different elements to the comedy. So you got the hardcore crime family son. He comes over to America and he's trying to learn how things work over in cushy life over here. Also, learning how to deal with his mom, who he hasn't grown up with.
Yeah.
So he has to learn all the dynamics in how to treat her and what she means when she says things to him. And then you have the soy-infused brother who grew up in America. He's learning what danger is out there, and he's not equipped for this.
No.
So he's as soft can be.
Yeah, and he has a friend who sells drugs and tries to get him into the club to sell drugs as well. And he acts tough, but he's the one who gets injured the most in this show and taken prisoner all the time. And he spills the beans every time. Like he's the biggest. Okay, I'll talk. Like you just put him in a room and leave him there for 20 minutes, and the minute you walk in, he's panicking and he's giving up everything. So.
So I'm a big fan of Korean shows and Chinese shows. Okay, this is that. Plus it's Americanized. Plus you don't have to read subtitles.
Yep.
And Michelle Yeoh was in it.
And she's phenomenal. Like she can play the overbearing mother to a T, and then all of a sudden she's the queen bee. Mm-hmm. She's the boss, and she's vindictive in this show at her husband. Like she goes after him in many times in many ways, and so yeah, I actually really enjoyed this show. I'm glad. I was planning on watching it, and then when we said, hey, maybe we'll do a review on it, I started watching it. I couldn't stop. I watched it in one day. Yeah, and they're long episodes.
Like 45.
Yeah, almost an hour, right?
Yeah.
So, instead of like the Marvel half-hour thing.
Like a lot of times I watch things to review things. Like this one I'm watching on my own because it's just good.
I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hats off to this one. And I can't believe we're saying this, but that's a couple of Netflix shows that we've watched, one movie, one show in a row that have probably been the best thing I've watched in a long, long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.